There you are. Okay. Sweet. Okay, cool. All righty. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I still can't see you.
Let me see. I think that is
Looks like
the
we're live.
way. Yeah, we're live. I think that's on the on your end. I don't know if I don't think you're able to see me. I know I'm able to see you on here. It's super weird.
Okay. Well, at least you
Let
can
me
see
see.
me. Hey, it works.
If the people can
What's up?
see you. So, how are you doing on this Saturday in quarantine?
Beautiful. Working from home, chilling with my dog, my roommates, my fiance, and enjoying the weather. I like the rain.
The
I just
rain.
moved here from Portland, so
Oh, from Portland? Okay.
yeah, I'm from Denver, but my business partner and I had a huge work project in Portland, and we lived there for about a year, and it rained like this every day, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I've seen you around. I know we haven't got to talk like face to face or anything like that. I super dig what it is
Yeah,
that you're doing. Let the people know. So, what is the work that you do?
yeah. So I'm Sanja, and I am basically I have a show that educates about marijuana, cannabis, hemp, and being a leader in the industry. I also am I also do marketing. I own a consulting as well, where we consult on everything that has to do with cannabis, from marketing to advertising to cultivation.
Mhm.
I do that with my business partner who owns the THC Girls as well,
Yeah.
which I help her operate. And we specialize in creative advertising, social media, things of that sort for women who advocate for the plant.
Hmm.
So we are busy bees, and it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, I basically am 100% involved in hemp and CBD for the past 11 years. I'm hitting 30 this year, so yeah, it's 11 years now. There we go.
You know,
Yeah.
I realized that this is a sweet spot because like I'll be 30 in January of next year. So it's just all like there's this
Okay.
interested like time frame for like, us right now where it's just like, we've been told about this 30
Yeah.
year, like thing, but it's like it's still young. It's so young. Like
Yeah.
we're still babies in this, so what got you into cannabis? Like what's the ultimate tale that got you into it?
Yeah. So I was actually 18. I accidentally stumbled on Craigslist um, in 2008 and found a receptionist job that happened to be at one of the most innovative dispensaries. It was strictly medical and very, very strict. Um, Recreational just did not exist back then. Instagram barely existed back then. It was just different. So that's pretty much how I stumbled upon it. But I myself uh, started to really sympathize with these patients and what they were going through. And I learned a lot, just dealing with patients that had cancer, that were dying, that, had arthritis, that had lupus, that had all these problems. And then I started to have symptoms of lupus, had a stroke, and could not walk. And cannabis is what helped me, and hemp and CBD. And so I became an advocate, and I passionately have been doing this, to spread awareness and end the stigma. You
Yeah.
know, I, it's really important that we educate, and we have come a long way as a people. We really really have, but we do have a lot more to go.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of stipulations when it comes to taxation, when it comes to government rules. I have been involved in all of that. I helped out with the metric system, which is what the government uses to monitor all of the cannabis. And I've kind of worked my way up from the bottom to the top: reception, trimming, general management, director of marketing, so on in products. product management and basically packaging. Back when we used to only have, lids and bagging, and now it's a whole different ball game. But it's been fun to kind of see the change of what's been going on. So now I've dabbled and taken my knowledge of marketing that I gained from cannabis, but I use it now towards everything. We do consulting for companies that have nothing to do with cannabis too. But cannabis is where it lies for me, for my passion. Every day, my whole family takes it now as a vitamin.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to encourage that for everybody, anyone I can talk to. I've talked to all types of people trying to get them to use cannabis. I put people on CBD diets constantly. And it just depends on what's going on with you. We can figure it out. I've worked with children. So yeah, for me, the passion lies in life and death situations and being able to educate the right way, no matter how you look, no matter who you talk to, and just educating people. That's what it's about.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like the number one thing when it comes to CBD or cannabis in general is just the knowledge. Like a lot of people are still in the, like they get these, I mean, it's the same way with how they deal with people, they get a certain stereotype and then that, carries on, I know you travel. I travel too, and I noticed that when you go to certain places, it's just like, especially like overseas or anything like that, it's just like they have a particular stereotype or even how they feel about, Americans or hip hop or culture, anything like that. When you go there, they go off of that. And, what I realize is sometimes it's not a negative thing. Sometimes it's just how they're able to connect, and that's their way of like paying homage, like they're just all like, this is what I seen you do, like, so this is like, I'm not being disrespectful, and that's what I feel like a lot of what the CBD and cannabis industry is like. A lot of people feel like, it's this when it's a whole range, like, it's a whole range.
It really is. You said it right. I mean, a lot of people, my business partner and I deal with a lot of negative stigmas. Of course I can look business professional, but I prefer to be me, wear my beanie every day, and, which is being creative. And, being in the industry, people don't think, hey, you deserve great job because you have the marketing experience of the last 11 years, but I'm serious because you were in cannabis, and so we deal with that a lot. And which is why we just decided, let's just create our own business and thrive off ourselves. And luckily we've been able to do so, but it's not easy. It's a lot of work. And, it's a whole different ball game being an entrepreneur for sure. But, being that, and I tell people all the time, people always ask, hey, should I get in the industry? And there's things I have to say to that. It's, first of all, how dedicated are you willing to be saturated and competitive? And it's a tough to be in. So if you can handle it, right on to get in it at such a young age. I grew up with it the same time it grew. And I also helped with those rolling now. So it was a little different for me. But I've seen people, we don't have the same rules in cannabis. So, we've had lots of deals where, hey, come set up my entire brand for me. You'll get a percentage of this, that, and the other. By the end of the year, we're owed like $1 million and we don't get it, and there's a lot of shady stuff that happens, but there's also a lot of really good people. But because of the regulations, it can be really hard to stay afloat. So that's why I'm here in Texas now, because I really want to start out in a state that doesn't know all the knowledge that I have, so that I can help and prevent issues like what California is having here, So that's pretty much what the mission is now. Plus my family's out here, so I really have enjoyed Texas, but it's different not being in a legal state. I'll tell you that. It's very different.
Every time I go to LA or Colorado, it's just all like, yo, the freedom. I cannot
Yeah,
wait for people to experience the ability to walk out of your house and go to a dispensary and
I'm
literally
telling you,
get yourself some.
it's it's a whole different ball game. I running a dispensary. I remember, my family's lived in Texas for 10 years now, and I would come visit them for Christmas. So I would constantly, oh, there's Chiba. Say hi,
Hey, Chiba.
Chiba. She likes weed. She took a CBD edible this morning, so she's feeling a little good. But I would remember visiting Texas, but I would be trimming and we would harvest, and when you're harvesting a whole room, you're talking hundreds of plants, so you got to take down and, hang it upside down, cure it, get ready to trim. So you're walking through a jungle, and I have always dressed like this. So walking through there, bud would get stuck to my dreads, to my beanie, and I would get on the plane not thinking of it and land here in Texas, and I'd find like a nug in my hair,
Oh man.
scary stuff. And I never got in trouble. There was a few times the dogs would walk right past me. But I'm not stupid like that anymore. I'll tell you that. But it's a whole different world, being in that realm, being in that area. And whenever I smell a skunk here, I start getting a little reminiscent, like, oh, are they growing in their basement?
It's like, something smells mighty pungent.
What is that? Yeah, So I definitely miss having my own garden. I always used to grow my own plants and buy from the store as well. But, it's definitely different.
Yeah, I feel, once that, because my thing is Texas is a huge place. Like, it's just all
Yeah,
like being able to grow here, like the amount of jobs, the amount of, there's a lot of people
yeah,
who, getting out of college, that'll be looking for something to do, and with everything that's going on now, we don't know like how
yeah,
this is even going to be. So it's just like people are going to need something that's going to be able to help provide a living in general, and I feel like having them go out to the field to be able to be in this particular environment, even if you're not a smoker, to be able to see that there's work behind
yeah,
this. This is just like it just grows, and then you pluck it, and then you roll it, and just different things like that.
yeah,
It's a real ancient type of thing. Like anytime we're dealing with herbs, anytime we're dealing with the plant medicine
yeah.
in general, there's more to it than like what we have the stereotype being. And so, what I want to ask is, what stereotypes have you experienced in the cannabis industry, being a woman? Just different in general. Like, what's some of the things that you've run into?
Oh yeah. So it's interesting. I feel like I could write a book. I've seen it all. And the biggest thing, just going through my timeline, in the beginning, in 2008 to about 2012, I would say, it was really, really tough to be a female in the industry and I don't take this the wrong way, but truly men gave us a hard time.
Yeah.
And I am not a neo-Nazi feminist by any means. I know that there is a difference between men and women, and I respect both, and I think that we're equal. I don't bring men down at all. I don't bring women down either. But back in the day, I never ever had my voice heard. It was extremely difficult to get to my higher paying positions, being a female, and you had to work like 3 times harder And then when I finally did become the boss, maintaining that level of respect from not just males, but older employees as well. It was very different because we didn't know that what we were doing was pioneering.
Yeah.
In the industry. No one has ever done what we did at that time. We were the first to, we were trying to figure out systems. Like now everything is clean cut. There's systems and tracking and RFID and there's ERP systems. And there was just none of that when I started. And it was just very, very difficult. So on top of all those challenges, it was very sexist. And, the magazines were not writing about women in cannabis. Fast forward, now it's completely different. It's 89% female, and right now females are dominated in the cannabis industry. And I will say the other stereotypes that a female versus female roles that happen in the industry. I'm sure this is common in all industries. But all that I have ever known is cannabis. So, women are fierce. Let me tell you right now. I am a very believer. I'm marrying a woman. I'm a firm believer in working together. I don't believe in violence or fighting with women and confrontation. I just really don't. I'm grown. But there's a lot of issues within the industry, female versus female, which is why my business partner and I are such an anomaly, because we are two females that own and operate two separate businesses that are in cannabis, and we have my store as well. And her and I work perfectly well together. There's just a lot of stigma with that, just being a female as it used to be. And then just the way that I look in general, my signature look is the beanie or a hat and my dreads. And, I like to be fun. And that's just my MO. Obviously, I can dress appropriately. I have many suits. I have tuxedos, but I still like to wear my beanie and my shorts.
Yeah.
So that's given me a lot of stereotypes. Since I've been here in Texas, I've been pulled over twice, and I've never been pulled over.
Wow.
And both times, I was wearing my shirt, short sleeve shirt, and I have weed tattoos. And the first thing they asked me was, "Do you have anything in the car?"
Yeah.
And I just was like, "Excuse me." Like, I don't smell like weed. I did not just smoke weed. There's nothing in my car. And I asked, are you asking that because of my drugs? And then they dropped, So, I look like a typical pothead, So it has damaged me a little bit in the business world until I get to talking and, crush that.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, there's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of times that my business partner and I have been passed up for awards because, the industry is just like any, there's a lot of cheating. There's a lot of, there's scandals, there's things like that, just like in anything. If you have enough money, you can have a bunch of PR written about you, and so... We always play fair. We've never paid to get our way to the top with anything. But there are people that have,
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've dealt with all of that kind of stereotypical stuff, for us.
And that's interesting. And I think that it's important to create your persona, and a lot of people are just not going to like the persona, but the thing is that why it is because it's so authentic that it kind of invokes their, like, why am I not authentic? Like, she's over there being herself, like, instead of like, man, that's actually really dope, And I see you got like some fans. I see Krista Jones is in here. She threw the Sanja, the hands up. We got Jimbo. Let's see.
Jimbo!
Yeah, it says Sanja's hair is dope, fire signs, like so
Woo!
yeah,
Appreciate
out,
that.
out to them. So, being that you've been in the industry for 11 years, and congratulations, that's a milestone. Like,
Thank you.
I think people don't understand like the work that is like to be passionate at something and continue doing it for
Yeah,
so long with so many uncertainties as the cannabis industry, to be able to stick it out and be like, look, you probably haven't even got the fruits of your labor yet, like that's
yeah.
still like to come in. But what out of CBD, and this is a two-part question, out of CBD and THC, what has been your, and maybe not one strand, but maybe like, since it is a number 4 day, in the 4 month, there's this 444 energy. What is your top 4 strands of CBD
Nice.
and THC?
Okay, yeah, that's easy. I'll say for CBD, marijuana is one of my favorites. I definitely like the sour tsunami. The sour tsunami is pretty much the go-to of all CBD strains, I feel. Harlequin, the triple X,
Mm.
that's a perfect strain. It has a little bit of CBG in there. Um, and then I'd have to go with the Charlotte's Web, of
Mm.
course. For my CBD, those are probably my favorites because they're full. They're full CBD. They're grown through hemp or with the cannabis plant. So I like those strains. I've seen them work wonders for people who have had Alzheimer's, have, been on their deathbeds. I've seen some pretty amazing stuff for that with those strains. And then THC wise, okay, here we go. So I always stick to my classics. I'm a classic stoner. Um, you know, kids these days, and I know I'm only 30, but kids these days their strains after themselves and switch it all up, and I'm just not for all that. So top 4 strains would have to be the Chemdog 4, which is an indica. Chemdog is usually a sativa dominant strain, but the Chemdog 4 is a totally different genetic. And the hairs still grow the same as Chemdog. They look the same as Chemdog, but it smells different and it tastes different. It's a little bit more pungent, but the hairs are long, brown, curly, just the best bud you'll ever see. So Chemdog 4, hands down. Blue Dream,
Mm.
go-to strain. Definitely if you have glaucoma, that will help you in every single way. If your dog starts to have symptoms, blow it in his ear. Blue Dream is wonderful for shatter, my favorite. Number 3 is going to have to be the Acapulco Gold because
Mm.
it's a classic.
Mm.
Hard to find,
Yeah.
super hard to find. Not a lot of people grow that strain. It's an old school strain. So keep the seed. It's gold, make a clone, bad boy. And it's a beautiful strain. And then the 4th one is kind of like a mythical strain that not a lot of people grow, but educate yourself and look it up. It's called Casey Jones, after like the
Mm.
Ninja Turtles, one of my favorites. The Casey Jones is like the sexiest plant you'll ever see. The hairs on it are the color of my hat, and
Oh wow.
they're bright. Yeah, they're bright orange, bright maroon, and then the leaves and the bud is like a dark, dark green, but with white crystals just all over it. So if you grow it right, it literally looks like a bouquet of flowers.
Oh my.
And it's a sativa. So, she used to love that strain. Um, I probably I haven't smoked it in probably 4 years because, like I said, it's one of those ones that's becoming extinct.
Mm.
Um, it's but it's a big yielder. It yields a lot. But it's just it tastes like salt and pepper when you smoke it. So
Oh
that's my
wow.
favorite. Yeah, those are all my strains in detail.
No, that's super dope. Thank you. And just some closing statements before I ask you to let people know where they can find you and stuff. Just what do
Yeah.
you have for people, whether business owners or just the everyday people in general, or people that are pushing through in the cannabis and CBD industry? What words of advice do you have for people, during these uncertain times?
Don't give up your hardest. Get up early and do your best that you can do. And just don't give up. If you can, get a partner, and it's a lot easier in these trying times to have someone that can keep that balance and that energy for you, whether it's your spouse or your best friend or your business partner. And stay close to stay close to Mary Jane CBD so that your mind can stay right. That's my biggest advice for right now. I mean, times are crazy, but I think if you have the right people surrounding you and you keep yourself motivated, don't give up. This is the perfect time to strategize, get your vision board out, the world is not ending. Okay. And if it ends, at least you got yourself together before, but get yourself aligned. The universe is just trying to readjust right now. So you need to do that as well, and get it together. Don't give up. Everybody's struggling, but at the same time, it's going to help forever in the meantime.
Heck yeah. No, thank you so much. And I appreciate it. And where can people find you on the interwebs?
Yes. So you can check out my website, sanja.us, SANJA. You can also find me on anything, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, The Sanja Ganja Show. You can watch my show every other Friday. We just had a show live on Instagram yesterday with Uncle Emo, Snoop Dogg. He's huge. But you can actually watch it on thegreenlab.com, High Times TV. I've got my own channel on High Times. You can also watch it on YouTube. You can listen in on iTunes, Spotify, and soon we'll be on another big platform called Pluto TV. So lots of really cool big things going on with that, and the show has been curated by the Green People for that. So yeah, tune in. You guys can watch it right now. It's great. It's a lot of fun. You can also find me on the THC Girls website, which is the highcountrygirls.com. App coming out, and I'm all over that bad boy. So yeah, check it all out. You can find me anything. Google Sanja Ganja. I'll be right there.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in with us. And you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. You. Yes. Peace.
You guys be safe and stay high, America. Woo! Bye.
All righty. Yes. Thank you, Sanja Ganja. And next up, we got the plug. Yo,